Good evening. Welcome to MMM Monday Meditations and Musings with Charlotte in Paris. So excited because it's been, if you're in Sydney, Australia, it is windy, cold,
Hi, everyone.
windy. And Charlotte in Paris, it's like 24 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning? And you're expecting 36. Welcome, and thank you so much for coming onto this. My little hobby, which I just love doing, and I'm just so excited to be. I'm already feeling the warmth just because I'm excited about it. So you actually lived here in Australia for like 5 years, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you've just recently moved back?
So I moved back to France, so to Paris about like 18 months ago now. And I wanted to say first, thank you for having me here because, as you know, I love Australia and Australia is home. So I'm so happy to be here and share this little time with you all. So yeah, I've moved back about 18 months ago. So it's still pretty fresh when you spend, 5 years somewhere else.
Yeah, I think it takes roughly 2 years to settle in anywhere. You hit the 2-year mark and you're like, oh, I'm here now. So you were, yeah. 6 more months. 6 more months.
Yes.
You'll be back into it. Australia will just be a second home then. So you are a yoga teacher. Yes, and you worked in media, is that right? For 5 years here? Sorry, if I can get that correct.
Yes, basically when I moved to Australia, I was 21. So I first did lots of, the first year was really lots of adventure. Then I finished my studies over there. So I did a 2 years master degree. And then I worked. After that, I was able to get a 2 years visa for studying 2 years full time in Australia. So then I worked in media, for about 2 years. I did a lot of work also in Sydney festivals. I think I hit all the festivals in Sydney. Sydney Film Festival, I just loved arts. And along the path, yoga was always there. So I always developed my yoga practice and yoga started to just take over everything. So when I was close to move back to Paris, I did my yoga teacher training in yoga. And then when I moved back, that's when I started teaching in France and in French, which was scary. Because it's much easier for me in English than in French. When you learn a new vocabulary, English is so much easier. So yeah.
Well, so yeah, I wouldn't have thought it would be easier in your native language, but because you learn all the cues and all the words in English, you then have to kind of convert it over, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. I just had Google Translate so many times. I spent so many hours, which is, it's so disturbing. I spent so many hours translating from English to French, and I still use it today. So it's funny.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and I'm just sort of looking forward to having you on the show because, yeah, you are very young. You're just so wise and together for a young one. I just think when I was your age that I was still all over the shop and still partying, still trying to sort my stuff out. And you're already kind of well on the path of being very wise and wanting to help the world. And I just would love to hear about some of the stuff that you're going to share, because I know you really want to help people, roughly your age, 20s, anyone, but roughly the 20s to move on from, I'm sorry if I'm taking the words out of your mouth, but move on from toxic relationships with parents and that codependency that happens there and how that it affects your whole life and how you get on emotionally, relationship wise, everything. So yeah, fire away, share with me whatever you like.
Yeah, so I guess the background of my story is that I guess I had such a sense of intuition very early on that what I was going through was not normal. So when I decided to move to Australia on my own, it was actually the beginning of my healing journey. It's I knew I was in a toxic environment and I just knew that it was a question of survival. It's when you live in survival mode, you have nothing to lose to start over a whole new life somewhere else. So that's why I decided that. At the time I said I was going for 6 months, I knew that it will be much more, but I also knew that no one will believe me. Like no one will believe a 21 young girl saying, oh yeah, I'm just gonna create a new life in Australia. I knew I could, but I just didn't say anything. And yes, I moved there, and instead of 6 months, I stayed 5 years. And that's why Australia is so close to my heart, because that's really over there that I've really discovered myself, that I'm starting my healing journey, that I'm starting to really put in perspective what I went through. Because part of like growing up in a dysfunctional family environment or codependency is it's hard to find your sense of self, because you basically forget about your needs. That there's a denial at a very young age to meet the needs of your parents. And codependency is very different to being dependent. You can be dependent from someone, and that's healthy. Being codependent, it's really you deny your own needs to meet the needs of someone else. And so it's really hard to find this sense of self. There is also lots of consequences in regards to emotional development. And also often part of this dysfunctional family is like you never talk about problems, you know? So if you don't talk about problems, they don't exist, which is actually very detrimental for any child or any teenager. And so I've just accumulated many traumas, many things, and I just hit rock bottom at 21 years old. And that was the beginning of my journey and my awakening. And I moved to Australia. I didn't discover yoga yet. I discovered yoga 1 year later. And it was actually from being in a relationship and starting to see that I was losing myself. So that's how the whole journey started. I was like, I need to do something for me.
In a relationship with someone else, is that what you meant? Yeah. So it showed up really obviously to you once you were in a relationship that you instantly became codependent with that person, or you just didn't know who you were, or?
Yeah, it's just you lose yourself in the relationship. So I was repeating some patterns, but you know, it's a journey. Like it's a journey. So then I started yoga, and it was the beginning of this beautiful healing path. It definitely started as a healing journey. Then I got more interested in the posture and everything. But first of all, it was really all about drinking the wisdom of my teacher as well, and really moving through this spiritual path really early on. Meditation also was a big part of it. And that's why I'm super excited today to share this inner glow meditation, because with meditation, I was just able to finally find this inner place within myself, you know, that was still there. And it's something we forget, you know, like no matter if we went through codependency, we all have lived under such a social conditioning, family conditioning, and sometimes it's hard to find this inner light again. So it has been a long journey, and yeah, I just want to help people. So around millennials, which are adults now, that still feel stuck to build healthy relationship, and it can be in any areas of life, you know, it can be romantic, but it can be also with a boss, it can be in friendship sometimes. Codependency just, you know, sneak everywhere. And it's not something you can see. That's what makes it as well difficult. You know, it's not physical, it's mental, it's emotional, but it can really prevent you from living a vibrant life. So that's why I think it's,
that's why I think, it's so important that someone of your age is already kind of worked this stuff out and wants to help, you know, other millennials who are adults now who wouldn't even know that some of their reactions, some of the way they're dealing with things, their relationships or work or whatever, like it can pop up anyway. You can feel completely okay in certain areas, but other areas may have absolutely no idea that this is coming from their upbringing, or well, pretty much the upbringing is what you're focusing on, isn't it? The effects of parenting. And it's
it has changed that. I think it's more about changing the mindset.
Yes.
Not really focusing on the past anymore, but just really helping people create a healthy relationship with themselves so they can, you know, then take that to the world and create a vibrant life.
Absolutely. And I mean, we're all like, you always have to focus on the now, where where you want to get to, but sometimes just acknowledging where that came from in the first place, you know, is the beginning of that journey. And that if you've got that kind of awareness and knowledge, and then you know how that affects. I mean, it's always useful to know that you don't need to stay in that area, but it is part of our healing is knowledge. Yeah. And acknowledgement. What's that?
The reason why will be part of
I mean, it's not until you kind of experience it and realize it, and be honest and upfront with what has happened that then you can move forward sometimes, I feel, like, made me forget. So when you were talking about that inner glow, because I was working on my presentation today, and those were my exact words. I was talking about my history and when, things were starting to get better, and how I had first started my teacher training in yoga. And the lady that interviewed me was just so amazing. And she just really saw me for who I was. Then for the person I couldn't see, she saw the real me. And I was under the layers of all this crap, but just that acknowledgement, just that the fact that she could see me sparked this inner glow. These exact words I was typing, this inner glow just started then at the beginning of that yoga teacher training journey. It was just this little glow, and then it continued on. So I love that we had the similar similar description.
This word really resonated with you. So my new project, obviously, and the new account and Instagram account and project and the course I create will be like the inner glow journey. And I just love this because it's exactly that. It's coming really from the inside out. It's just finding your inner glow, and then everything starts from there. But
so it's actually called Inner Glow Journey. I love that. I love it. Beautiful. I'm sorry I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh, how exciting. Nice.
We are at the early stage, but
absolutely.
And you can send me a question, or I will share the two accounts, I guess, on the live later on.
So for the course that you're going to offer, you'll be kind of coaching and mentoring and offering practices and things like that, I assume. So if anybody, and will that be in English or French?
English.
In English, okay. And so online, obviously. So if anybody is interested in working with Charlotte, as she said, she's not ready yet, but we'll leave her contact details below, because we've had so many different people from all around the world, different, and someone's bound to resonate with someone, so I just think it's lovely. And that's why I love doing this every week, because sometimes people are coming and doing the exact same type of meditation, but coming from a different space, a different character, and it's just unique every time and special every time. So I'm looking forward to your inner glow meditation. Why did you choose that one?
So the meditation I'm gonna do, it's slightly inspired from Sri Ravi Shankar, which I love. Like, I love the way he creates some meditation. But the inner glow journey it's really just a deep journey within yourself to find your inner smile and see what comes from that. So I would just take you on a beautiful journey. Sometime I will pause to just let you really the possibility to just drop within yourself in silence, and then I will keep going with my voice. So that's why I choose this inner glow journey. It's just a little meditation to keep you smiling, keep you light, and so you can start your week off on a good positive vibe.
And for all of us here, fill us with a little bit of warmth. So I know I have some friends in France who said that it was really, COVID was really kind of full on there now. But I also have a friend in the UK who's just traveling all through France and Italy and everywhere. So all the borders are open for you guys, and you're all traveling around, but are people still wearing masks? I mean, I know it's not gone. So how is life for you over there with this C-19?
So you see, that's the interesting thing to have lived in, these two different countries, is that there's pros and cons in everyone, but it's true that in Europe, especially in France, there's a lot of freedom, it's just, there's some rules. We had really hard rules, like we had a hard quarantine, but now it's like things are starting to easy up. So everyone actually wear masks. We actually now have to wear a mask also on the streets, in some streets, in Paris and in some cities. But so the virus is still, circulating, but at a low level. So I don't know how we did that, but it's kind of where we're at. It's starting to increase again, but it seems to be like, there's always a bit of worries, but it seems to be okay. But yeah, it's just really typical from Europe. And the big difference with Australia is like in Australia, there's a lot of rules always. There's always so many rules, and sometimes at a really extreme level for, a situation that might not, for where it might not be the case. I mean, I'm aware of Melbourne, so I understand Melbourne is, really struggling right now, and they do everything they can. But I think it's very two difference between like, it's cultural as well. Like there's a natural kind of freedom in France, so we're not gonna have too many rules. We had during quarantine, but then they started to ease up step by step, and now it's more like your individual responsibility.
Yeah, and I guess Australia, we're a small country, not very highly populated, and the amount of total deaths in Australia is really insignificant to Europe and UK and whatnot. But yeah, that said, our borders are closed. I'm thinking, we can't even go to Queensland, and my girlfriend's posting these pictures in Italy and France and everywhere, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I'm like, at least we get to see this journey through your Instagram because we can't even go over the border. But yeah, all for the best, and I think we're winter here, so I think winter's obviously, you're more likely to get sick in winter, and you guys are in summer, so how can you keep everybody in summer? That's just cruel.
Yeah, and the thing is, the tourism is suffering a lot, so they didn't have the choice to open again the borders. Like the tourist industry is hit very hardly, so they had to open again and try to have a bit of movement, even though it's very like the tourism right now, it's more a bit European, but it's mostly French people just going down south. It's like they're like, Paris is empty because there's no tourist, so it's really hard for the city here.
Yeah, there's no one. I can't imagine. There's going to be some amazing movies, I reckon, showing these capital cities just empty. I'm really isolated in this little bubble, and I haven't experienced it, but I think it'd be amazing, and I think they'll make some pretty awesome movies with this, like, the virus and nobody around. And I mean, they do that sort of stuff anyway, don't they? It's all kind of like, it's all stuff coming true in a way. Yeah, all the movies.
Yeah, and it's a good way. I don't really have time right now, but it's a good way to actually visit Paris, because like there's no one at the Eiffel Tower, for example, and I've never been on the last stop. I've never been there, so it's a good occasion. Like the museum, normally there's like thousands of people waiting. There's nobody, so it's a good way to visit your city again as a tourist, because like there's no one there. But,
put a day aside. Give yourself a treat, and share those photos with us. Make us more jealous. All right, I'm conscious that I know you've got class in 40 minutes or something like that. Yeah. So if you would unless you want to share anything else, if you'd like to go ahead and take us through the meditation, you're welcome.
I'm keen to get you on a beautiful journey to remove you from gloomy Sydney or wherever you are in the world. Like maybe it's not where you are, but Australia right now it's not really sunny, so we can definitively start. So whether you're sitting on a chair or you're sitting on the floor on a cushion, just take the time to place your sitting bones, relax your shoulders. You can just bring your hands onto your knees, onto your hips, and then you can just close your eyes and slowly start to relax your body. Keep your spine really up. Keep your back straight to make sure you still keep this line of energy just along your spine. Release any tension in your jaws. Release completely any tension in your face. And slowly we're gonna just start by connecting to our breath. So you can take a deep inhale through the nose and a deep exhale through the mouth. Two more times, just in your own time. Start to create this deep connection with your breath. Feel your body expand when you inhale. And start to release any tension when you exhale. Feel every cells in your body being nourished by every breath. As you start to bring the attention to any sensation in your body, take the time to observe, feel any tension, any stress in the body. And just let it be. Just use your breath, your exhale, to release this tension and just relax. This guided meditation today is simply an invitation to sit with yourself. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Just right here. Slowly bring now the attention to your mind. This place in our body that is intangible for us. Our mind drives a lot of what we do, what we think every day. But we can't see it, we can't grasp it. So imagine the space of your mind being in your body and also percolating just all around your body. Any thoughts that are coming through, simply let them come through and let them go. Every thought, every feeling is welcomed here. Just acknowledge that feeling, and then just let it go. Maybe you can start to experience a certain stillness in your mind. Just stay there. Keep relaxing into yourself and keep letting go. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Slowly put a beautiful smile on your face. As you put this smile on your face, start to feel some muscles in your face relax. And as this smile starts to expand, feel how there is a sense of blossoming coming from the inside out. Let the energy of this smile percolating all around your head and at the back of your neck. And as you keep smiling, see this smile filled with positive energy and like a white light. As you keep smiling, this white light is now just going to be distributed all around your body. So from the top of your head, through the back of your neck, along your spine. And part of this light also just percolating all around your arms, your torso, your legs, your feet. So this smile is emitting positive energy in every cell of your body. And this energy then concludes in your heart. So you can keep your hands onto your knees onto your hips, or you can start to bring your hands onto your heart. And as you start to feel this energy coming from your smile and going straight into your heart, you can feel the warmth in there. And stay completely present here. This is your inner self. Feel it, be present with yourself. Keep this smile onto your face if you can. And let yourself be touched by this positive energy coming from you, from your inner self. Again, hear any thoughts that are coming up, just come back to that inner glow within yourself, to your inner strength, and stay there. Slowly, you can just release your hands and maybe bring your hands back onto your knees, onto your hips. Keep smiling, keep feeling this warmth, this positive energy, allowing your body glowing from the inside out. You can imagine now this white light, this energy going out into the world. But it initially comes from within you. That's where your power lands. Slowly bring your attention back into your body, the sensation. Feel your sitting bones, connection with the floor, with the chair. Come back into the space where you're in. Slowly here, take a deep inhale through the nose. And a deep exhale through the mouth. Lastly, feel here the stillness of your mind and the stillness of your body. As you slowly start to come back to your own reality, to your own space, back into your life. So very slowly from here and very gently start to open your eyes again. And just stay, or you can just even open your eyes, have them semi-open, as you slowly start to emerge back into your life. Always important to come back out of meditation slowly and gently. As you start to come back into the space, if you want to just relax your shoulders, do gentle movement, you can. And thank you so much for going on this inner glow journey, guided meditation with me. And thank you, Sam, for having me today.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I hadn't had a break yet, and I was honestly in and out a bit. I was like, bliss, and then I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then, again. So it was a bit of that to and froing happening. But I did experience some beautiful, blissful moments and some warmth. So it was lovely listening to your voice. Beautiful meditation. Thank you.
No worries.
And during it, I had a question, but it's gone.
Yes, you might be really wondering, but I mean, it's part of the journey anyway.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Look, been meditating for years, and I still have a busy mind. But and that's why I like a lot of people to know that you don't need to be experiencing a blissful, quiet mind to be getting the benefits, because I have huge benefits in my life. I know when I don't meditate that life is not as easy breezy. It's always a bit more chaotic and a bit more dark, and nice blissful moments are great, but it's what happens for the rest of your life, what meditation brings to the rest of your life, which is just so valuable for me. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your class. What are you teaching today?
Vinyasa.
Vinyasa. I knew that would be.
I'm still doing lots of Zoom classes at the moment. I'm like.
Oh, it's a Zoom class, is it?
Yeah, it's Zoom. I do Zoom in the park and in studios, but I love this hybrid journey we're on now. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's everybody pivoted pretty well. There's lots of I think the technology that everybody says takes us so apart has actually really brought us back together, and brought us into people's homes and seen the realness in people, but through social media or through the internet. It's amazing. Very grateful. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Thanks for having me.
Have an awesome day.
Yeah, thank you. I'm starting the day. You guys, in Australia, it's the evening, so have a beautiful evening, everyone.
I've got plenty of work still to do. But anyway, bye.